Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the A&R NASCAR Cup Series Season 4. We are here at Bristol Motor Speedway under the stadium lights for this race. These are the drivers competing.
Your drivers to watch out for. Kurt Busch in the 1. He's coming off his first career victory. Locked into the playoffs now. He doesn't have to worry about anything moving forward about making the playoffs. Alex Bowman obviously is always one to watch out for. Martin Truex Jr. has been on a hot streak. Let's see if he can continue that and finish 4th or better for the 3rd time in a row. Cole Custer's having a nice season. Just watch out for him as well. Kevin Harvick finished 2nd here in season number 2, and he won at Martinsville in season 3, which was also a short track. Clint Bowyer won here in season number 2, so look out for him. And then also, Jimmie Johnson won this race last year. Let's see if he can do it again and jump the cut like Kurt Busch did last week and solidify himself into the playoffs. If that were to take place, he would bump someone below the cut line who is currently above. Let's see what's going to happen here at the last great Coliseum. Our first matchup is Eric Jones in the 20, who won at Martinsville just a couple weeks ago, and that was a short track. See if he can go back-to-back in short track victories, or will Kurt Busch go back-to-back in overall victories? 3, 2, 1. A very close race. Let's check the replay. Kurt Busch is your Stage 1 winner, so Eric Jones will finish last for the 2nd consecutive week.
Our next matchup is between Hendrick teammates. We have Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman. Let's see how well they do against each other in 3, 2, 1. And Chase Elliott will take the victory. Green car next to the green semi. Alex Bowman didn't even make it at the end of the track.
Next, we have William Byron and Ryan Blaney, both drivers that finished inside the top 10 at Las Vegas this year, battling each other here. Let's see which B will be faster in 3, 2, 1. And I think Ryan Blaney won. Ryan Blaney will indeed win that stage against William Byron. So he's heading to stage 2.
Next up, another teammate battle is Joe Gibbs with 11 and 19. Got Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. Let's see how well they do against each other in 3, 2, 1, go. Truex Jr. speeds around the track and will take the victory.
Next, we have Jimmie Johnson and Cole Custer. I'm going to go at it here. Jimmie Johnson, the reigning winner of this race. Can he beat Cole Custer, who has been strong this year? 3, 2, 1. And Cole Custer will take the victory. Jimmie Johnson's Season 4 woes continue as he struggles here at Bristol.
Our next matchup is between, again, teammates Clint Bowyer and Kevin Harvick. Let's see who will win in 3, 2, 1. Kevin Harvick for the victory.
Our next matchup is Kyle Busch and Matt DiBenedetto. Kyle Busch now dropped below the cutoff line after last week's win by his brother, Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch needs to really pick up his pace if he wants to make it back into the playoffs. A win would secure it here at Bristol. Let's see if he can get one step closer in 3, 2, 1. And it looks like Matt DiBenedetto is going to hold off, though. He's going to hold off Kyle Busch, and he's going to move on to stage number 2.
Our next matchup is between the 2 of Brad Keselowski and the 3 of Austin Dillon. Let's see how well this Ford versus Chevy battle goes in 3, 2, 1. Green flag. And it looked like Austin Dillon took the victory. I couldn't catch both of them in frame, so we'll check the replay.
Next up, Ryan Newman is going to go up against Bubba Wallace Jr. Both of these drivers had mid-pack runs last week. Hoping to do a little bit better here at Bristol. In 3, 2, 1. And I couldn't catch who won that race. Really close. Ryan Newman, by probably literally a hair length, or a hair width rather, is going to get that victory over Bubba Wallace. One of the closest stage finishes we've ever had in the A&R NASCAR Cup Series. Ryan Newman is going to move on to stage 2. What a close race between these two.
Our next matchup is the 10 of Almirola and the 22 of Logano. Let's see how well these two do in 3, 2, 1. And it looked like Eric Almirola was the victor.
Our first matchup of stage number 2 is a former teammates for Stewart-Haas Racing. Kurt Busch no longer drives for Stewart-Haas Racing. Eric Almirola presently does, though. Kurt Busch was in the 41 when he was on Stewart-Haas Racing. Let's see if Kurt Busch can beat his former teammate, or will Eric Almirola pull ahead for the victory in 3, 2, 1. And I believe Kurt Busch will take that victory. So Kurt Busch looking to go back-to-back here.
And our next matchup is between the 6 and the 6? That doesn't seem right. How did Ryan Newman get to... Wait, hang on a minute. Much better. 69, nice. Let's see how well these two do against each other in 3, 2, 1. And it looked like Ryan Newman will take the victory. We'll double check the replay just in case. What is it with Ryan Newman getting super close finishes? This one was also by a hair length, right? By about that much. And I was incorrect. Chase Elliott is in fact the winner, not Ryan Newman. But, there, now it's Ryan Newman.
Next up, we have the 12 of Ryan Blaney, finished third last week. Austin Dillon finished in the top 10 as well, both having strong runs here today. Which one will make it to stage 3? In 3, 2, 1. Go. I believe Austin Dillon will take that victory.
Our next matchup, in fact, second to last matchup for stage number 2, is between Matt DiBenedetto and Martin Truex Jr. Let's see how well these two do against each other. The 19 and the 21. 1921, not a great year. In 3, 2, 1. And Truex will obviously take the victory in his good-looking Bass Pro Shops car.
1921 wasn't such a bad year. It was 1929 that was the Depression, Anthony. But we're not worried about that right now. We're worried about teammates. Again, another teammate battle. Kevin Harvick, Cole Custer. These two went up against each other in last week's Homestead race. Cole Custer was the winner in that matchup. Let's see if Kevin Harvick can get some sweet revenge on his teammate Cole Custer here. In 3, 2, 1. I believe Cole Custer will take that victory away from Kevin Harvick.
$19.21 might not have not been a good year, but you know, a year that hasn't been good is 2021, as well as 2020 especially. And our next matchup is between Kurt Busch in the number 1 and Cole Custer in the number 41. Let's see how well these two do up against each other. In 3, 2, 1. And that looked like Kurt Busch took the victory. We'll check the replay just to double check.
Next we have the 9 and the 19. Or the 6 and the 61.
Bruh.
Chase Elliott is going to go up against Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. hasn't shown a lot of speed today, but he's been able to win and get all the way to stage 3. We'll see if he can beat Chase Elliott here in 3, 2, 1. And close race. We'll have to check the replay. Chase Elliott is going to move on to the semi-finale. Martin Truex Jr. will finish 4th yet again.
Our semi-finale race between Austin Dillon and Kurt Busch here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's see how well they do against each other in 3, 2, 1. Both out of the gate, and it looks like Kurt Busch will take the victory, and Chase Elliott is waiting at the line to race him. Austin Dillon will take a 3rd place, which is fitting for his number.
Our final matchup here at Bristol. Chase Elliott, who finished 2nd in the short track race of Martinsville a couple weeks ago, he does not want to settle for runner-up again. He wants to win this race, and he wants to secure himself in the Season 4 playoffs. Kurt Busch wants to go back-to-back. A couple weeks ago, we saw that Kurt Busch was last in the standings, and his only hope of advancing to the playoffs was to win his way in. He did just that last week, and if he wins this race, he will dig himself out of the hole that he created over the first 5 races of the season, and he will sit 4th best in the playoff picture because each win is worth 5 playoff points, and he will have 10 if he wins this race. So he will be in good shape entering the playoffs. He will have gone from a nobody to a championship contender in 2 weeks' time. Let's see if Kurt Busch can go back-to-back, or will Chase Elliott steal it right from under his nose. In 3, 2, 1. Close race, I believe Kurt Busch, but we'll have to check the replay. Kurt Busch goes to victory lane for the second consecutive week and has now established himself as a championship contender. Chase Elliott finishes second at a short track for the second consecutive race. Austin Dillon actually finished third in that short track race as well. But Kurt Busch is truly number one today and last week. But he now sits fourth on the playoff grid after not even existing on the playoff grid 2 weeks ago. So Kurt Busch definitely establishing himself as a championship contender and as a championship favorite. Chase Elliott continues to climb the leaderboard. Austin Dillon, another solid top 5 finish. Fourth place finish continues to bump Martin Truex Jr. up in points. Another top 5 for Cole Custer. Another 6th place finish for Kevin Harvick. Matt DiBenedetto, another top 10. Good job for him. And it looks like, except for maybe Austin Dillon and Ryan Blaney switching positions, the top 10 of last week might be the exact same top 10 we had last week. What a coincidence here, as Eric Almirola finishes 10th again. Joey Logano finishes 11th. Here's your bottom 10, as these Clint Bowyer, his second consecutive finish outside the top 10, that is not going to be good for him in the playoff picture. Brad Keselowski outside the top 10 yet again. Kyle Busch not doing what he needs to do as he let his brother win again. So Kyle Busch is even in an even bigger hole than he was last week. Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin both in need of winning to even advance to the playoffs here. These three have been good this year up until the last 2 races, where all 3 of them have finished outside the top even 15 in the last 3 races. So Alex Bowman, a championship favorite, really Kurt Busch is taking all his thunder right now, as well as William Byron. So these 3 really need to pick up the pace in order to stay championship contenders. We know Alex Bowman knows how to get it done. He did it last year. William Byron, though, struggling recently. We'll see how that affects him in the playoff grid as we move forward. But Kurt Busch, your winner yet again. Kurt Busch, we might see him as a championship, in a championship position at Phoenix sooner or later. That is all from Bristol Motor Speedway here in the A&R NASCAR Cup Series Season 4. It's hard to believe that we are halfway through the season, and we only have 3 more races left in the regular season. So, it's crunch time for guys like Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, all these drivers that are below and ones near the cut line. It is crunch time, as these drivers need to have good runs, and really, most of these below the cut line, they have to win. So, if we don't see Denny Hamlin, Jimmy Johnson, or Bubba Wallace, even Kyle Busch potentially win in the next 3 races, their seasons will be over, and they will not participate in the Season 4 playoffs. So, it is down to crunch time for some of these drivers, as we will see you guys next week for some more racing.